So this one's a little bit later than last week, and I want to do them on Saturdays, but yesterday was pretty hectic with Valentine's Day, and had some work to do. But last week was more of an intro. I think the weeks like today and weeks after are going to be more so like updates and that sort of stuff, and what I've learned and what has changed. But this has been it's kind of crazy how in just 1 week things have taken such a drastic turn for the good, um, which is it's weird. It's momentum just stacking and stacking and stacking. So this week I actually got referred um, to a new client for a pretty hefty sum to bring me on and give me some equity. And I was a little bit skeptical at first. I wasn't sure at all who this person was. Because if I'm being honest, I really didn't want to do the job, but I threw out a number and we sort of met somewhere in the middle. And then equity was obviously given, and that I'm that's what I'm skeptical about, and simply because of the fact is, if the business goes nowhere, then it's equivalent to basically just $0. But from what I've heard and learned about this guy, he seems like he's a dog. He's got his shit together, which is pretty hype. And it's really gonna, I think, in the next like month or two, really just like shift things around for me, in terms of just giving me a big influx of cash. So that was really really cool. Really brought up my spirit, I guess, a little bit. But um, yeah, and then Friday night at about 11, maybe it was like 10 or 11. Um, Reached out from a previous client at Founder, um, and they were needed something within like the next 24 to 48 hours. So worked my ass off for that, and gonna deliver that today actually, which is really hype. And he said something in to me. He said that I reminded of him when he was younger. It's just like that super fast spirit, and I don't know. It really inspired me a lot. Sometimes you feel like you're just like normal, and that you're just doing things like you normally would, but in reality, it's something that I guess most people don't get to experience when they hire or doing something like that. So that was inspiring. It sort of just makes you feel seen a little bit, and that like your hard work is actually like hard work. It's not just like some mind game or something like that where you think you're working hard. Because I've found like recently the times where I thought I was working too hard, I wasn't working hard at all. And I might have mentioned this last week, but the times where I felt like I wasn't working hard enough is when I was working my hardest. So it's kind of inverse in that sense. And I'm sure it applies to other things as well, but that was that was nice. It was nice to feel seen and feel appreciated. And I already did before, but it was just another reminder. So that was really, really cool. And yeah, so we've got a new app hopefully going on test flight this week, assuming it gets approved. It's sort of like, I don't know, but it's really, really cool. I've seen no one else do it. It's taken me several months to get the like core architecture behind it complete. And now it's just like all the stupid stuff that's like kind of boring, like making an onboarding flow and generating like images or Lottie files, like animations for the onboarding. Um, and then eventually it'll be like doing the paywall, which it's kind of annoying. It's a lot of setup. Um, and you actually have to design the paywall, which kind of sucks, even though I know it doesn't have to be perfect. But that's going to be coming soon. Um, but yeah, this has been, I guess we're halfway into February, a little over halfway now. Um, and this has been a really transformative month for me, in terms of like my income and where I think things will be heading. Um, Setting up a good structure for going into, like March, April, and May. And I think just like my biggest worry, and I guess this will always sort of follow me, is just like losing it all, you know? And I know that's like a stupid worry because like I know I'm fine and I'll be chilling. Like I got way more than enough skills and like I'm learning every day. Like, especially with like Alex, like I learn something new from him like every day. Um, on the like sales side, because that's just not something I'm good with. Um, so that's really really cool that I'm sort of being able to turn into someone who can build and sell. That's my goal. Because for the past 2 years, I've been someone who can build, but I can't sell for shit. Um, so I'm glad that's getting better. And I'm sure over the rest of the year, it'll get 10 times better, maybe 100 times better. Um, so I'm trying to learn and stay busy. So I don't know. Sometimes I forget things a lot, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that is this week. Next week, I'm sure things will change again. Hopefully, I've got to review everything for this one, sort of big client, and hopefully get started on that this coming week, hiring a designer to start. And yeah, hopefully I can be done with that, within like a month or two. That's my goal. And yeah, I'm moving into a new place soon. Loki just want this cash to hit first, and then yeah, it's pretty cool. Things have been good this year. I've certainly had some bad years in the past. I think at the start of last year, or maybe it was the year before. No, it was the start of last year, 2025, or it might have been the end of 24, um, where I got sued for $100,000. So this year has certainly been much, much better. Um, and like it was just a feeling that you had. And now like that feeling is just following me. Even as like the weeks of this year, like, fly by now. That feeling of just like ultra confidence and like this feeling of feeling like a emperor, just like, you know, like overwhelms me. But we'll see where things end up next week. And, I'll be sure to update you and try and get that out on Saturday. Um, but yeah, so I'll see you then.